summer's starting to get rolling. Just what's been your observation about the group that you put together?
They work hard, I'll say that. I mean, they're grinders. They play hard, work hard. Last year's group had a bunch of new guys that are a little bit older. These guys aren't as old. And sometimes we got an older group, they kind of understand they got to pace themselves a little bit. And this group has no pace to them. They got those younger legs, so they can grind and expect to be there now and at the end of the season. I think they, this time of year is fun when you bring a new team together, trying to figure out what role people can play. And I think it's exciting for the coaches, but it's also exciting for the players just to kind of where they fit into the puzzle.
Well, last year, you tried to take the best player available from the lot that you had. This year, you were able to kind of look at different positions. How was it different for you?
Yeah, I think we got a good balance of shooting and slashing and bigs. I think we've had some big improvement just with our own guys. I think Jamie Vincent's come a long, long way, really improved. But last year we took a lot of shooting, not a lot of strength. This year we'll have a little more positional size, and we have true slashers and advantage creators. And the later the season goes, you're going to need guys that can kind of get some buckets. And I think we got some guys that can do that. I just interviewed one of them, that is one of the leading scorers, knows how to put the ball in the hole when the coverage gets really tight as the season goes along.
But how much you rotated guys last year? Do you feel like the depth is the same, better than last year?
Well, we still don't have McKenzie out there, and we still don't have Zach out there. So you put those out there, and you look like you can find 10 good players that can play. Now that's to be determined. Just stay on that floor. You got to have everybody buying into playing hard, unselfish. We certainly have enough talent to play 10 guys, and so that's up to them.
How close is McKenzie, and just what's kind of holding Zach back right now?
He had that surgery after the season. He'll be back here like early July, and McKenzie's pretty close. He'll be back here in July as well. So he's been doing all this stuff, but just not in contact.
How's PJ been fitting in with this?
He was unbelievable the practice before this one. He was just okay today, but he was really, really one of the better practices I've ever seen him have. But what I appreciate most about PJ, man, he's trying to make the right play. Like he, is a leading return scorer in college basketball, so you would think he would just be searching for shots, but he's really tried to make the right play and play hard and on both sides of the ball. He came here, he wants to win. And he knows if he wants to win, he's got to involve others. And he's been trying to do that more. And I think it's going to pay off for our team.
What was his recruitment like in that kind of process? How y'all spotted that he could be interested and built that relationship?
Yeah, well, our coaches do a great job. Frank Haith had a relationship a little bit with his father. And, he's a Houston kid. He's right down the road. A lot of schools were after him, and he wanted to come someplace he could win. This was close to home, which helped. Play style mattered, because his best years are when it's an up and down system. But as long as I've coached basketball, I've never seen players that are really happy if they don't win. They don't like the people they're doing it with, and they don't see themselves playing in the role that they saw themselves. And that usually relates to play style, right? If you're an up and down player and you're playing half-court basketball, it's usually a difficult transition. So in his last year, he wanted to check all the boxes.
Looking at that portal class, were there any pleasant surprise gets for you guys when you look back on who you were able to bring in?
No, most of these guys are what they were. We do obviously a lot of deep dive when we're recruiting players. You don't know how well some of the mid-major guys will adjust until they're here. Sometimes it's just an adjustment for them until they can kind of get their sea legs under them. But, coming from mid-major, you have Shelley, who just he's on practice 2 times. He's been out injured. Who's going to be a really good player for us. Tyshawn Archie, and he's a flamethrower. It reminds me of the kid at Holloway from Alabama, little dude, bomber. We really shooting. And Coach Lucas Walsh is a mid-major kid at Sanford, and he was always been a 40% plus 3-point shooter. So the easiest thing for mid-major guys when they transfer, and this is what I look at obviously, is shooting will always transfer, right? And if you can shoot the ball, it's going to transfer. Now, if you were some mid-major slasher, sometimes the size of the SEC can swallow you up, and that doesn't translate as well. But these guys can shoot it, and Shelley's an elite player because he can slash, but he can also see the floor really well.
How different is the approach this summer as opposed to last summer? Because I think you didn't have number 5s, at least for the
first part of last summer?
It's been good. I mean, we just started getting more into offense here this past 4 practices. We've done a little bit more defense, but so it's been better. We'll be better earlier. I mean, let me just say this. We should be more ready to play earlier in the season. And we're going to take a little trip to the Bahamas and play 3 games down there in August. And we got to be ready to play early. I mean, our non-league schedule is going to be good. And then we just got the SEC schedule. We'll have the second. I think the SEC this year, because of a lot of money was spent on rosters this year. I mean, and the SEC has been the best league the last 2-3 years. It'll be the best league this year. And I think it'll be the best it's ever been this year. I mean, when I look at it, and we just got the schedule back, what our schedule will be, and we'll have the second hardest schedule in the league. So it's going to be a tough schedule, which is, that should wake you up ready to practice, right? So I know we lost, our 2-play opponent in the years, last year was Oklahoma. We'll go to this year, will be LSU, Texas, and then we'll go to Vanderbilt. So at home for our games, we'll have, Vanderbilt's a projected top 15 team in a lot of people's minds. LSU will be really good. Texas will be really good, obviously. Play all those teams at home, and then we got coming to the house Arkansas, we got Alabama, we got Auburn, we got Georgia, and we got Tennessee coming. I'm leaving a couple out. And then you go on the road to Florida, to Missouri, to Kentucky, all hard places to play. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, South Carolina. So very tough schedule. So guys, that's what gets you going.
A big part of last year's team was just the leadership of Richard Agee. I know it's early, but have you seen anybody else kind of blossom into that role yet?
It really needs to come first from the returners, but unfortunately some of these guys haven't been out there besides Jamie, and then Nico was obviously here as a gray shirt freshman. But we got to see Zach and McKenzie get back and take ownership in that. I've known Lucas Walls for a long time. He's going to lead by example. And vocally in ways, because he knows our system. He played for him at Sanford a couple years ago. I recruited him since he was 16 years old. He can play in the SEC because he can shoot the ball and he's strong enough. And then I know Cade Phillips for a long time, and he was the captain of the Tennessee team when they went to the Elite Eight a couple years ago. So I expect big things from them. Known Jalen Reese, actually coached Jalen Reese in the Jordan, coached with his dad in the Jordan Classics. I've known his family a long time. He's got leadership as a point guard. And then PJ's obviously been a leader out here as well. So they do it in their different ways. Now Rashawn had a different way of doing it. It's hard to replace Rashawn, but collectively we've got to find a way.
You mentioned a lot of money spent across the SEC for rosters. Do you have an idea of what a competitive roster is worth this year?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to say it. Y'all can go look at what Sean Miller said. I think that's pretty much accurate, what he said with where people are and just what people, some places are spending. I've only mentioned this the other day, is just where's the threshold for longevity of what we're trying to accomplish. And that's always a deal for schools that want to be good at multiple sports. I'm not even talking about us. We certainly want to be good at multiple sports, but I think that's where, you really try to pay attention to where are you in the green or where are you becoming the red at some point. But in a sport like men's basketball, that for the most part has usually been profitable. We'll see if it can be profitable going forward.
Has Bryson officially been given clearance by the NCAA?
No, we're waiting on his waiver status, so we're waiting to see right now. Yeah.
Do you have an idea when y'all might get that?
Sometime in the next month, we hope. Yeah.
There's time for a couple more, guys.
Starting the season stronger. Is Bahamas a big part of that? Do you think you guys will learn a lot about the team then? And what are you hoping to achieve from
Yeah, you get a little more practice time, and then obviously playing games. My teams that I've coached, I don't know why, just the first 2-3 games of the year, we have a big jump after the first 3 or 4 games. Literally every team I've coached. I coached a team at Sanford years ago that lost our first 2 games, and we were awful in the first couple, and then we went on to win like 17 in a row. Last year we were very similar, right? We lost 2 of our first 4, then we had a good run there. Hopefully we go to the Bahamas and we lose those first 2 down there. They don't count, right? And then we're ready to go. But no, I think it'll be good. I think it's good team bonding. You say something? I'm sorry. Okay.
Is there any non-conference scheduling stuff you can tell us that's set in stone?
Yeah, I could forget off the top of my head. I know we're going to play in the Battle of Atlantis or we're turning the Bahamas. I guess it's still wherever the heck it is. This is Atlantis. We're going to play Xavier and we're going to play Marquette down there. We're playing TCU at TCU. We have the ACC Challenge. They gave us Stanford in that one. We got Oklahoma State here at home. leaving one of the Power Fives out there. Florida State. We'll play them here in Texas, and I believe Houston, right?
So 2 trips to the Bahamas?
2 trips to the Bahamas.
Not too bad.
I know. So,
Do y'all still have a roster spot open? And if so, are y'all going to do anything with it?
it's kind of a wait and see. You know, we got a roster spot. We're waiting to see, and we may fill it, we may not. Yeah.
Is Marcus' situation kind of dependent on that in a way?
We'll wait on Marcus' situation, but it's a half court. It's minimally a half court shot for that one.
I feel like the element of surprise is kind of gone. Like last year, people were almost learning bucketball. I feel like opponents are going to know what bucketball is heading into this season.
I think everybody's going to adjust in their own way and be better, but hopefully we're better at what we do, right? I mean, I'd say this. I mean, Nate went to the Oats at Bama. They went to the first year in the league. They were pretty decent. The next year they won the SEC, right? We were at Samford. We had our worst year was our first year, and then we went on to have our best years after that. So everybody gets more familiar to what you do, but the most important thing is, are your players doing what they do the best? And that's what matters the most. I can promise you, no matter who we play, going to be more ready for what we do than our players are ready to do what we do. And that goes in reverse, right? I mean, like when we play Florida, like we can know what they do, but they're going to know it pretty dang good too. So we just got to find a way to toughen up and stop them in some way.
More just curious for tonight's NBA draft. Like, how badly do you want to build this up to where you're getting that exposure from Aggies getting drafted? Obviously, it's kind of a drought going on right now.
I want to build this up so bad that we've won so much here that every Aggie supporter wants to support this program so much that we don't have any players go in the NBA draft because we pay them so dang much here they never want to leave. That's the goal. Now when the eligibility is done, I hope we hear them in that first round and early in that first round.